The men's basketball team has also hoped to make a splash in conference play, and Zach Aaron now joins me to see if they can have the same success as the women's team.
Well, Chris, unfortunately, the Pioneers did end their season on a low note as going into a spring break, they lost once again in the first round of the KIAC tournament as they visited IU Southeast. But they kept the game very close against a number 2 ranked IU Southeast team, losing only by a score of 96-94. But once again, it's almost becoming tradition for them to lose in the first round. It's unfortunate because of a slow season that the men's basketball team had. It'll be interesting to see how they rebound next year, Chris.
Now, Zach, you look at this team here. They always seem to have a problem just getting past the first round. This has been the problem the last few years. And really, they've struggled in conference play the last few years as well. What do they need to do moving forward?
What do they need to do? I think the big thing they need to do is just keep the players in check. There were just a lot of ineligibilities and injuries that really plagued the team. By the end of the season, once again, there were only 8 players suiting up for each game. 8 players, almost maximum. And only about 5 or 6 of them would actually get in the game. So most of the stars would be playing 40 minutes. And that really began to take a toll as they got down towards the stretch. But credit to them for keeping the game close against IU Southeast, who was ranked number 2 in the nation.
All right, thanks, Zach. The softball team is now in full swing, too, and now joining me will be Blaine King to see how they did on their spring break.
Claremont, Florida was where the action was for the girls softball team. They were participating in the Dot Richardson National Training Center spring games over spring break. The girls were scheduled to play 10 games over the week span, but 2 of them were canceled due to rain. The softball team went a record of 2-6 in the spring games. Their first win came against the University of Michigan Dearborn. They won that game 4-2. A big first inning by the Pioneers helped Kate Reese pitch a complete game as they scored 3 of their 4 runs in the top of the first inning. The Pioneers' second win came against Grace College, the Theological Seminary, who beat the Pioneers 8-0 earlier that week. This time around, the Pioneers were victorious, winning 16-8. In that game, Ashley Moran, Alyssa McMurdy, and Becca Babinek all homered for the Pioneers. In their 6 losses, the Pioneers gave up between 5 and 8 runs and scored between 0 and 4 runs. The Pioneers will play their first home game this Friday in a 2-game series against KIC rival Alice Lloyd.
Blaine, you look at this team here. They go 2-6 over the break. That's a real rough way to start their season. What does this team really need to do to rebound and really get themselves right on track here?
I think they still were getting into the gist of things down in Florida. But I believe that once they starting to play at home, they start getting the feel. I mean, they did struggle a little bit batting wise, but if they can just shore up their bats, then I think they'll be okay.
Now, Blaine, you also look at this team here. They've had success with hitting the ball the last couple years. We saw that really helped them out last year because pitching was at a premium. They really didn't have the staff to do it. Do you really think they can turn it around this year and really get the staff to put them over the top and be possibly a contender in the KIAC?
You know, there's always a chance for that. If one of the pitchers get real hot, then possibly. But I think they're going to be really relying on their bats this year. As I said, they gave up between 5 and 8 runs over the week span of the games, and if they have to score 10 runs to win a game, I mean, that's not the way you would want to win, but that's how they're probably going to have to win this year. So they're probably going to have to rely on their bats the most.
All right, thanks, Blaine. After the break, Globe writer Alex Stumpf will stop by to talk some baseball as the team went to Florida over the spring break. We'll be right back after this.